Hey trappers, Dale Billingsley here, Billingsley Brand Lures. So guys, what I want to talk to y'all about today is targeting large bobcat. Now, some of the locations I'm going to show you, I'm not going to say that they won't pick up a small cat now and then, but I was talking with my good buddy Zach out in Idaho there the other day, and he kind of brought something to light to me that I had actually forgotten about. My good friend Slim Peterson told me one time that if you want to target large, big bobcats, you trap where the big coon run. And that makes a lot of sense. If you really stop and think about it, it makes a lot of sense. I'm going to show you some of them locations today, and we're going to kind of go over some stuff. So stay with me. We'll get started here. All right, gang. So here we are. We're out here on a major highway, and we catch cats off these major highways all the time. You can see that low spot down there where that car is right about now. That low spot right there, there's absolutely no crop ground right here other than that bean field way up on the hill. But the cats will cross in that low spot right there, and we take some tremendously large cats off of these ditches like this. Then as we turn around here on the other side, we've got another low spot right here, and we've taken some really nice cats off of that bottom right there. When I say nice, I'm talking, it takes a big cat here in the Midwest to weigh 30 pounds. He's got to weigh 20 before he can weigh 30 a lot of times. And I'm talking anything, 20 pounds and up. Those are nice cats. And we've taken some dandies off those locations like that. Those little there's little light trails down there. And the coon you catch there are as big as a box car, but the cats you catch down there are really super nice. So let's go on down the road here and we'll look at some more places. All right, guys, you can kind of see that trail right there snaking out through there and going to that woven wire fence to the cedar thicket. Really good location. You're going to catch some giant coon here, but you're going to catch some really nice cats off these trails like this. And just going across this highway again and headed off out yonder out across. Now that's a bean field right there this time, so there's not going to be a whole lot of coon activity once they get the beans out. But what there will be is cat activity, and it'll be a big cat at that, because they don't like to, most of your young cats and your females don't like to cross in the open if they can help it. But a big giant tom, especially during the breeding season, late part of January through February, will sure enough cross out across that open right there to get to them big oak trees down there in that bottom. So these are places you want to key in on and look for when you have the chance. All right, gang, so we've got a hedgerow here. We call them hedge in this country. A lot of people call them Osage orange. Down south, they call them bodark. But anyway, they grow in a straight line like this. Everything hunts up and down these hedgerows, all right? And you'll see, look at there, you can't miss that trail, even this early in the season, and you still see that trail right there. That's a coon trail is what that is. And you're going to catch fox, you're going to catch coyotes, you're going to catch giant coon, but you're going to take a cat off of it eventually. Once you get everything cleaned up and cleaned out of there, you're going to take a bobcat. And again, I'll show you the other side of the road here. It goes out right there through that gateway, right over to this cow pasture where these other hedge trees are. You've got another hedgerow growing. So I mean, it's not nothing more than a couple of leaps and bounds, and he's across the blacktop and headed off into cover again. That's what makes this such a great location. He's got a little bit of open to cover, but not too much. And then he's right back into the heavy cover again. Excellent. That gum, this highway's busy today. Excellent locations to catch bobcats. All right, guys, I'll try to zoom in back there. That gap right there is not only going to catch fox and coyote, but you're going to catch cats coming up that ditch out to this hedgerow right here. You've got these big round bales. You've got everything you need right there. That's a heck of a location that you just cannot pass up. And then, as we come back here, you've got the hedgerow. This actually connects to that hedgerow that we just filmed over on the blacktop on the highway. So you've got this hedgerow that comes up, and it breaks out across and goes out across this open ground. Now, not a real heavy, hot bobcat location, but a bobcat location nonetheless. Then you see that house down yonder there in the distance. If that house wasn't there and you could ethically and legally do it, That hedgerow right down there would make an actually a better location because you stay closer to the cover down there. So that would be another good location. I catch a lot of cats off this road every year, guys. Mike and I both do. We did before we trapped together, and we do now that we trap together too. We know where every cat location is up and down these roads, and that always helps too. So anyway, let's go look at a few more. All right, guys, so we've got a trail comes down right there on this side of that brace post and goes out to that standing cornfield. If that cornfield happens to be standing, which generally it usually is, those cats will come off of this fence line, cross through down that trail right there, come right underneath the truck tires and go on across. Catch 2 or 3 cats here every year off of this trail. Set it last year and the traps got stolen, and had a battle trying to get them back. Never did get them back. This guy's kind of a dick. So anyway, kind of narrow-minded. So anyway, this is a great location. If you find places like this out here on top of these knobs like this, I'll show you. We're down here. We're up on top of a knob here where the big coon run. Now, that ditch right down there, before they cleaned it out of the brush and trees back in 2014, I took a 29-pound cat out of it and a number 11 set dry in a coon trail. So what I'm telling you is the truth. I'm not lying to you. I'm not trying to buffalo you. These places will hold cats, and they do catch. All right, gang, we've got this deer trail here / coon / everything's going to run up and down it trail. Comes right underneath these cedar trees, coming out of a cedar thicket, and it runs across the road. It goes right through that gateway to that fence line right there. One of the biggest and best spotted cats I've ever seen come out of this part of the country came right off of that trail. And no, I didn't catch it. A buddy of mine did. But anyway, you would have swore that cat come out of the panhandle of Texas or somewhere like that. I mean, big, wide, white belly, big, beautiful rosettes on it. Really nice cat. So again, don't overlook these places. You want to make sure that you set them all. You can either put footholds in them, you can put conibears in them, you can put snares in them, or cable restraints, whatever's legal in your state. And if it's not legal to trap the road right away, just follow the trail back. If you can get permission, follow the trail back to where you're legally off the road to where you can do it. That's all you have to do. All right, guys, that little lone tree right out there in the middle of the hayfield that's up off of the timberline down there, that's kind of an unorthodox bobcat location. But I'm telling you, those little lone trees, or even those great big lone trees that stand out like a sore thumb out in the middle of nowhere, if you were coon hunting with a hound and you had a good layup hound, you'd tree a big coon in them kind of trees, and a giant at that. Well, that's where your big bobcats are going to show up every now and then too. Don't ask me why, because there's absolutely nothing out there for them. But come running season, when they're breeding, they're going to check those places out. Plus, you're going to catch fox and coyote right there too, easy enough, because it's a focal point that stands out. And again, that's where your big cats are going to be too. All right, gang, now I've showed this location before in another video, but that lone tree standing right there would be an awesome location to catch coyotes, fox, and cats, all three. Then, I'll tell you a little story about this place here in a minute. There's a trail that comes down along that fence line right there. It's an old cow trail, but everything runs up and down. It comes right down along them cedar trees on the south side of it. There'll be the left-hand side. And it comes up and it comes across right through here. And it crosses and it goes, you can almost make out the trail. It's a little bit faint. It's not a heavy trail by any means, but anyway, it goes right down through there and it goes around the culvert and it goes across the road to that standing timber. 3 years ago, my daughter and I were trapping together, and I dropped a pair of number 11s in this trail. We took one giant coon up here on top and one big possum. And that was it. And then the 4th day of season, the 4th check, we're coming along down the blacktop, and I could see the white on the cat's ears laying inside the culvert. There was about a 25-pound bobcat in that number 11 tucked back in that culvert. If you check out the video of mine in my playlist that's titled Cat Trap in the Heartland, that thumbnail, that cat in that thumbnail of my daughter holding it, that picture was taken right there on the shoulder of the highway, and that's where that cat come from, right there. So those are just things you need to keep in mind, things you need to look for. All right, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and end this video right here. We could keep going and going and going if we wanted to, but I think we've kind of give out a lot of information here. If you would, please, if you like this content, just hit that thumbs up for me. I'd sure appreciate it. Guys, I appreciate everything you're doing for this channel. We're growing like a weed, and I appreciate it. Once again, this is Dale Billingsley with another one. Signing out.